Hey everyone, so what's in store for today's video? Well, this right here is the kind of living space that most young people in Vietnam can only dream of. It's a real social reality, and honestly, it's something I really wanted to share with you all. So, come along with me, take a breath, and let's experience this journey together today. Owning a home used to be the ultimate dream for an ordinary person. But today, it has turned into a crushing burden, not just for young people in Vietnam, but all across the globe. Look at it this way. A young worker in Vietnam, starting out, earns around 10 million dong, which is roughly 400 US dollars a month. Even if they save every single penny and cut down on everything, they can only save about $4,000 a year. Meanwhile, a house in this area costs around 10 billion dong, or roughly 400,000 US dollars. That means they would have to work for 400 whole years just to afford a place to live. So, what does this really tell us? It simply means they stand almost no chance of owning a place like this unless something unexpected happens. And by unexpected, I mean winning the lottery or inheriting a massive fortune. Or maybe getting a major promotion through pure talent. But let's be real, those things are exceptionally rare. So, the most realistic future for most young people is simply renting. Of course, they could still choose to live with their parents, but usually, that means moving back to their hometowns. And if they want to build a career in the big city, renting is pretty much their only option. Sure, there are homes much cheaper than this one, but even then, they rarely go below $100,000. And that is still a massive fortune for a young person trying to make it on their own. I remember there was a time I met a homeowner right here. Back then, I was a bit naive when I was talking to him, and I guess the house was worth around 5 billion dong, about $200,000. Right after that, I received this condescending look, followed by a question. Where are you even from, to guess a price like that? It was as if he was subtly pointing out just how absurdly low my guess was. Later on, I found out the real price was around 15 billion dong, roughly $600,000. I was honestly in shock, left wondering, has the wealth gap in Vietnam really grown this massive? Of course, I can't deny it, the scenery and the living space here are just incredible. The Riverside Park is honestly pretty beautiful. And this river acts as a barrier, separating this place from the dust and noise of the industrial seaport city just up ahead. I get it, you get what you pay for. A high price tag comes with a great quality of life. But when I think about struggling families, especially young people, trying to make it on their own, I just feel sad and deeply troubled. This year, economic growth here in Hai Phong City is quite high, over 10%, but that doesn't mean everyone actually benefits from it. Sure, GDP goes up, but that also drives up inflation. And if workers' wages don't keep pace, it becomes nothing more than a vicious cycle. Workers' incomes, especially for the youth, are always the last to catch up, and when they do, the increase is painfully small. I've noticed more and more eateries are popping up right along the park by the river. And people are loving it, enjoying a meal out in the open air with a cool river breeze. Honestly, it's the best of both worlds, good food and a beautiful view. Perhaps, once it's fully completed, this place will become an exclusive living space, strictly for the high society. The wealth gap keeps widening, and young people, just stepping into the world, will find it heartbreakingly hard to accept this harsh reality right before their eyes. To me, there's a bitter irony in all of this. On the other side of the river, the inner city is completely cramped, packed wall to wall, starving for space, and desperate for room to breathe. Meanwhile, over here, everything is wide open and refreshingly spacious. You almost get the feeling that the houses are secondary, while the surrounding nature, like the park, is the main event. Honestly, that's a feeling you usually only get when you're living out in sparsely populated countrysides. The homes in the park here are actually designed in a modern Korean style. It's a huge selling point, specifically meant to attract people who love that aesthetic, which, let's be honest, a lot of Vietnamese people do. On top of that, Hai Phong is home to many Korean businesses and a pretty large population of Korean expats. So, renting out to them is definitely a big factor that both homeowners and developers are keeping in mind. Now, come along with me, and let's take a walk to experience the views around here. And hey, don't be discouraged if you can't buy a home here just yet. Let it be your motivation to keep striving for a brighter future.